Hello, this is Yukon Palmer with FieldLogix. Our goal is to educate field service and construction companies on topics that are relevant to their operations. Today, we're going to be talking about managing vehicle maintenance and life cycles and why it's important to stay on top of the maintenance of your vehicles to help you avoid costly repairs and better manage the cash flow of your operations. I'll be talking a little bit about the key things to focus on to help you maintain the value of your vehicles. We'll also be talking to Edward Salidi, who manages a 300 vehicle fleet at Piedmont Services Group, and he'll be discussing the importance of vehicle maintenance and ensuring that his vehicles are running properly for his service techs. He will also talk about how he stays on top of the life cycles of his vehicles to ensure that he gets the greatest value out of them when it is time to put them out of service. As far as cash flow goes, it's very important to all service-based businesses. Unpredictable fleet management expenses for unexpected vehicle repairs could result in budget overruns that upper management usually isn't too happy about. A fleet manager who wishes to stay in management's good graces should ensure that the cost to operate their fleet is consistent and predictable. In addition to ensuring that fleet operating costs are consistent, a fleet manager also has an opportunity to put cash back into the business by optimizing the resale value of vehicles when they are past their useful life. As a fleet manager, it's important to be aware of the increase in repair costs after the useful life of a vehicle has elapsed, so the cost to operate the vehicle remains manageable. There are various steps that you can take to ensure that you get the most use out of these assets during their useful life and offload them before their operating costs increase substantially. So the first thing you can do is keep on top of your vehicle's maintenance. As a fleet operator, it's important to adhere to the manufacturer recommended preventative maintenance schedules. These schedules are designed to reduce the likelihood of breakdowns as well as the likelihood of excessive wear and tear on your vehicle's components. Properly maintaining your vehicles will ensure that they remain healthy and operational, avoiding unnecessary breakdowns that can take your technicians out of service. So even the best maintained vehicles have a maximum life expectancy. It is important to track the repair costs to get an understanding of when the cost to perform unexpected repairs tends to become greater than the cost to acquire a new vehicle. Alternatively, lease and finance payments on vehicles are predictable, so it may make more sense to purchase a new vehicle when the old vehicle's repair costs start to increase dramatically. So when you maintain the vehicles, you should also document all maintenance and repairs on your vehicles. Not only does this help you manage the vehicle's maintenance, but providing documentation of maintenance can boost the resale value of vehicles by up to 20%. Also, minor worn-out parts can be replaced at a relatively low cost before selling vehicles. This includes things like brakes, tires, batteries, filters, etc. And replacing these inexpensive parts will help you ensure that your meticulous care of the vehicle is apparent to any potential buyer. Taking these steps can increase your vehicle's resale value and put more money back into your company's operating budget. It is also important to maintain your vehicle's appearance. Many fleet operators do not want worn-down vehicles representing their brands while out on the road. We've all seen vehicles with peeling decals driving down the streets, and it nearly always gives the public a negative perception of the company's brand. Companies may want to dispose of an unsightly vehicle prematurely, even if the only issue is a worn-out paint job. Continuous washing, waxing, and detailing the vehicle will keep the vehicle in great visual condition and will reduce the likelihood of the paint fading and peeling. Thoroughly cleaning the vehicle, especially its undercarriage, immediately after driving in snow will reduce the likelihood of rust forming from salt, which could cause significant deterioration of the vehicle's frame. This will help enforce your brand's perception with the public and will extend the useful life of the vehicle. You should also consider implementing a no smoking policy for your drivers. Cigarette ash and odor is very difficult to remove from a vehicle and will have a significantly negative impact on the buyer's perception of the vehicle. Also, if there is any minor cosmetic damage to your vehicle, such as scratches, dents, upholstery stains, consider repairing and cleaning them to improve the visual appearance of your vehicles. This is a fairly low-cost effort, and it will help you get a higher price for your vehicles. Also, if you have any decals, company branding, or wraps on your vehicle, be sure to remove them cleanly to avoid any paint damage. Healthy fleets are productive fleets. It's hard enough ensuring that your customers get the services they need when they need them. The last thing you want to deal with is an unplanned vehicle breakdown that will throw your entire day out of whack. Unfortunately, field technicians and drivers aren't always the best at reporting maintenance needs to you, and some tend to drive vehicles for months when the check engine light is on. When their vehicles inevitably break down, it often results in missed appointments, frustrated customers, and lost revenue. In fact, a study by Automotive Fleet found that a breakdown costs a fleet $634 per day. FieldLogix can help you avoid unplanned breakdowns. Our preventative maintenance reminders will alert you when your vehicles are approaching required service intervals. We will even alert you if the vehicle's check engine light turns on and provide you with the specific diagnostic trouble code that is causing issues. This will help you keep your vehicles on the road and servicing your customers. Take steps today to keep your fleet healthy and productive. Visit our website today at FieldLogix.com to take a quick video tour of our platform. Also, you should consider the timing of your vehicle sale. You should sell your vehicles before they reach a critical mileage threshold that would significantly decrease the vehicle's value. Most fleets typically do this when a vehicle is approaching 100,000 miles, since the value of the vehicle decreases significantly after it passes 100,000 miles. Also, the wear and tear on rubber components such as gaskets, belts, boots, and bushings will start to materialize after 100,000 miles. This could lead to additional mechanical failures and cause excessive wear and tear on your tires and other components. It is best to cycle out the vehicle before multiple instances of failures of these seemingly minor parts result in major expenses for your fleet. When you decide to sell your vehicles, pay attention to the seasonality of vehicle sales. The demand for vehicles in your industry may likely coincide with the seasonal fluctuations of your industry. For example, HVAC companies tend to see a significantly higher spike in business during the summer months and may be too preoccupied with running their businesses to acquire new vehicles. Therefore, the demand for vehicles that can be used by HVAC companies during the summer months may be very low. With low demand comes low prices. Thus, selling an HVAC vehicle during the summer months may generate a lower price. You should also consider selling your vehicles during the same time of year that you acquire new vehicles for your business. When selling your vehicles, figure out the best platform to sell your vehicles on. Your options include auction houses, dealerships, online marketplaces for private buyers, and fleet resale specialists. Just keep in mind that in general, the easier it is to sell your vehicle, the lower value you'll receive for the vehicle itself. Auction houses are good for quick sales, but they tend to generate the lowest price, since the vehicles have to be resold by the auctions at a profit. They typically only pay a premium for well-maintained vehicles. Dealerships are good for trade-ins, but they will provide you with a lower price than if you were to sell your vehicle to a private party. Selling to private parties via online marketplaces such as Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, AutoTrader, Cars.com, etc., will generate a higher price for the vehicles, but they also require more of your time and effort to show the vehicles and to negotiate with potential buyers. Fleet resale specialists will buy multiple vehicles in bulk. In this scenario, you may have more negotiating power and may be able to demand a higher average per vehicle price. When you sell your vehicles, highlight their key points. When you market them, emphasize that you have detailed records of the vehicle's maintenance history. Provide documentation to potential buyers, such as a maintenance log or a Carfax report. Emphasize the aspects of the vehicle, such as low mileage, fuel efficiency, vehicle use, proper maintenance, major repairs, etc. This will put buyers at ease knowing that they won't be likely to incur major repair expenses. Also, list any upgrades that the vehicle has. This could include leather seats, an infotainment system, new tires, service contracts, etc. These extra features will be seen as bonuses to potential buyers, thus increasing the vehicle's value. Simple steps such as these can help you avoid unforeseen repair expenses and significantly increase the value of the vehicles once they are no longer useful to your business. Fleet vehicles encounter a lot of wear and tear as they are being used to help your employees complete their jobs. They are also a valuable asset that could generate extra cash for your business when you no longer need them. To maximize the amount of cash that your vehicles are sold for, you need to stay on top of their maintenance needs and sell them before their values drop significantly. FieldLogix will help you stay on top of the maintenance needs of your vehicles. With preventative maintenance reminders and instant fault code alerts, we will notify you when your vehicles require service to ensure that they are in the best condition possible when it comes time to sell them. We even track the lifetime mileage of the vehicles to help you determine the best time to sell your vehicles before their value rapidly declines. FieldLogix will help you keep your fleet in the best condition possible so you can sell your retired vehicles at higher values. Visit our website today at FieldLogix.com to take a quick video tour of our platform. Okay, so everyone, we have Edward Saletti with Piedmont Services Group in on the show today. And Edward, thanks for taking time to join us today.
Oh, absolutely. Good afternoon. How you doing today?
Good, thank you. First off, I'd like you to just give me an idea of what Piedmont Services Group does and the approximate size of your fleet.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Piedmont Service Group is a commercial HVAC company. They provide service to the greater Raleigh area, all the way down into South Carolina and Virginia. So that's Piedmont's. That's their core business right there.
Okay. And about how many vehicles does Piedmont have?
We have about 295, close to 300 vehicles right now.
And are they operating in the wider Raleigh area, or do you go beyond that?
Yeah, they're like I said, they're in Wilmington, South Carolina. They're in Greenville, North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Greenville, Greensboro, North Carolina, going up to Richmond, Virginia. So really kind of in the northern South Carolina and southern Virginia is where we're operating at.
So as far as your role at Piedmont, you are the fleet manager, correct?
Yes, sir.
Maybe you can just give us a little bit of a description of your experience as a fleet manager over the years, both inside and prior to Piedmont.
I've been in fleet management for about 8 years now. Started with a laboratory that started in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then it branched out into South Carolina, West Virginia, they were up in Kentucky, parts of Ohio, and was there for several years. And then had this great opportunity come to me over here at Piedmont, and decided to join the team over here.
Awesome. Okay. And then, so what do you do for Piedmont?
It's dual hatted, really. It's my primary responsibility is fleet management, and then in addition to that, I'm also the facilities manager for the company here at our Raleigh location.
So what types of vehicles do you primarily manage for Piedmont?
But typically the bulk of our vehicles are the Chevy Express 2500 cargo vans, but we also have Chevy 1500 pickup trucks, the crew cab or double cab, and we have the 2500 series. We do have a few Fords as well, but the bulk of the vehicles are the Chevy Express 2500 cargo vans, though.
Okay, great. And my understanding is that you are responsible for the purchase of the vehicles as well, correct?
Yeah, so it's the purchasing, it's the selling, it's the maintenance, it's the taxes, the registrations, the FieldLogix tracker installations, it's upfitting them with getting the graphics, it's getting the rigging, the shelving put on the inside of, installed on the inside of the vehicles, ladders, everything that the end users need, the other departments or branches need in order to be successful out in the field.
And when you decide to purchase a certain type of vehicle, what kind of criteria are you using to deciding your purchases?
It depends on what the purchase is for. Is it a direct replacement vehicle, or is it for growth? And the growth is kind of, sometimes I'll say it's a little bit more of the unknown, and it may be the branch manager or department manager, if you want to call them. They'll tell me about what their request is or what the requirements are, whether it's at half-ton pickup truck or a 3/4 ton pickup truck, because they're pulling trailers and 14-foot or 25-foot, 20-foot trailers. So it just depends on what their requirements are, and we go out and source that vehicle to meet their needs.
Okay, makes sense. And so when you decide to retire a vehicle, at which point is that usually done?
Generally, we look at a mileage standpoint. We look at about 100,000 miles of when we try to retire the vehicles. And there's, one is, I think we look at reduced book value of the type of vehicles we have. We have determined that 100,000 miles, ballpark is where we kind of get the best bang for the dollar in terms of service life versus, what can we, how we can maximize service life versus repair costs versus what we get for whenever we sell the vehicles.
Okay, makes sense. And are you using the telematics system to monitor that?
Yeah, we use, really, it's a couple different things, but primarily the telematics. We use FieldLogix for that, and I just run I'll run a report, bi-weekly, to see where we're at for that mileage. And I also use, inspection reports that the drivers send in. I kind of bounce those off of one another. And but primarily, like I said, the telematics that we receive from FieldLogix.
Okay, makes sense. And are you also using FieldLogix to manage the maintenance of the vehicles?
Yes, it helps keep track of the vehicle. Yes. So between that and, enterprise dashboard that we use with the vehicles, most of the vehicles are purchased through enterprise and they're on their maintenance plan. I'll bounce the two off one another to make sure that things are correct. I'll get notifications from enterprise, and also what I'll do is I'll bounce it off of what I see off of FieldLogix, because FieldLogix will give me a good snapshot of what we have or what's due for or overdue for maintenance.
And the primary things that you're typically monitoring for maintenance include what?
Typically, it's the oil change, tire rotation. We do that every 5,000 miles, and then the transmission flush is at 45. But the key one that we worry about is the oil change and the transmission flush, because of the mileage at which we typically turn these vehicles in when they're, aside from the transmission servicing, the spark plugs, coolant, all that stuff that's kind of done at that 100,000 mile mark. And at that point, we're turning the vehicles in anyways.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, great. I appreciate you taking time to meet with me today.
Yes, sir. You have a good one now.